What's going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video preview. Today we're going to take a look at some 2020 Toy Fair exclusive from Hot Toys, and I will start off with Iron Man Mark IV, the holographic version. It looks good. It looks really good. Something new from Hot Toys. I'm tired of the Tron Iron Mans. I didn't buy those. I'm never gonna buy one. Is this better than those? At least you can see more of the details on here compared to that blackout paint, which does. I mean, if you do have that and if you're into that, good for you. I think this one looks better, aesthetic wise. At least you can see, kind of you can see the intricate details on it. I'm still not gonna buy it. It's mostly for hardcore Iron Man collectors. Like if your collection revolves more on Iron Man and you want something unique, compared to the die-cast and the plastic Iron Mans, this is a good way to mix it up. Would you get your money's worth? It depends on how you look at it. Me as a casual collector, I love Iron Man die-cast. I think that's the best line that Hot Toys has ever made, and that's their cash cow. And would it stop? I don't know. It looks like it, since the Marvel Iron Man looks like it's gonna slow down. They still have Black Widow, so we're gonna take a look at if he's gonna wear an armor in that movie. But this one itself looks good. Before, you can only get a figure like this by through a customizer, if you pay somebody to customize your figures. But now it's available for retail. For Iron Man collectors, I'm happy for you guys, and hopefully they make more, but not in the expense of other figures. And this one just took me by surprise. I wasn't expecting this figure at all. Another Stan Lee figure. This is the third one now out of Stan Lee's. It's in my opinion, the first one was still the best, because it's a casual looking Stan Lee. It's not scene specific. It's not a movie specific. So if you wanna have a Stan Lee in your collection, that's a good way to have one. The second one was pretty fun. It's a fun Stan Lee to have. Display him in a spacesuit. The movie was fun, kind of like whenever Stan Lee makes a cameo in any movies, Marvel movies. This one is just a bit, surprising, unless you're a huge Thor Ragnarok fan, or you have the rest of the figures from Ragnarok, because this is, like I mentioned, a scene specific. Unlike the spacesuit, it's more generic. Even if you haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy, you see Stan Lee in a spacesuit, you would kind of get it. Now, if you haven't seen Thor Ragnarok, or you're not a fan, and somebody walks in your display case, they might not even recognize that it's Stan Lee. So I don't know what prompted them to make this figure. Let me know in the comments if you are gonna pick this one up, and if you are, I legitimately want to know why. Like I said, unless you are a Ragnarok fan, or if you have Thor, the Road Thorn version, or Loki, I got the Loki Ragnarok, or Hulk, I really want to know, because this is I'm guessing this should be $230 figure. Honestly, shouldn't be $230, but that's kind of like the norm now. As a matter of fact, the norm now is $254. So I'm not gonna be surprised if this is gonna be $254. Man, that is way overpriced for this figure, because you're getting a hair, big chunk of hair, and some scissor hands in here. So yeah. We all have our taste in figures. I'm not gonna pick this up. Never gonna pick this up. But I'm actually interested to know, for those who are, why. So, I mean, it doesn't look bad. I'm not saying it looks bad. I think it will be overpriced for what they're gonna ask for. I don't even know how much they're gonna ask for this. What would be the good price for this? If I was gonna buy it, $200. I'm still gonna buy it. Not gonna buy it for $200. It's just wouldn't belong into any part of my collection. Just my collection. Yours might, so yours might. But at this point, I think there's a Stan Lee overkill now when it comes to those figures. One of the figures that I might pick up, I'm still leaning towards no, is this 2099 black suit Spider-Man. I love the game. I'm gonna mention this over and over. The lack of head sculpt, and that is what's preventing me from picking these figures up. They look great, but when you buy Hot Toys, you typically buy the head sculpt because no one else could replicate that. And I know this is a video game character that never showed his face and doesn't need a head sculpt. I understand all of that. If that was the case, I wish this was around $200 because you don't really pay the actor's likeness. There's no actor to pay, so you're paying the likeness for the characters or for the video game itself to replicate those characters. I think all of them are overpriced. Even the first Spider-Man, the advanced suit Spider-Man, I believe that's what it's called, with how many accessories it does have. The lack of head sculpt always prevents me from buying them. And it's gonna be no different from this guy. But he looks great, man. He looks great. If you're a fan of the video game, if you're a huge fan and you're a completionist, and let's say you're already deep, then this is a must-have for you. One criticism I do have, and this is tiny, and it's not a final product, obviously, is he looks a little skinny. He doesn't look bulky at all. And it might be because of the color of the suit, because from the advanced suit Spider-Man, he does have definition. He's a little, he does have muscles on him. Not so much on this from what I can tell so far, but obviously it could change. It's a minor tweak, put paddings on his arms, and I think we will be good. That's the only one. And I would say the price. This has $254 written all over it. It might be $234. Even better for some collectors out there, but yeah, there's nothing more accessories that I can think of that it would come with. So I guess it boils down to how big of a fan you are. But man, you can see the pattern here of Toy Fair is always going to have Iron Man and Spider-Man. I'm surprised we didn't see any Star Wars announcement or yet. I'm not gonna be surprised if we see some Star Wars, like I don't know if they're gonna announce Jar Jar Binks or anything, but that would complete the lineup for them. Like, and then the next one that they announced actually after this picture of Spider-Man would be a reissue from, I don't know, 5-6 years ago, which is Whiplash. Whiplash is really expensive on eBay because he was rare. He was released, on Iron Man 2. I wouldn't even call him a beloved character. He's not even one of the good villains on Marvel Cinematic Universe, but he's really extremely rare. I know a good buddy of mine has been looking for him forever. They released the diecast version of his, and which didn't really do well. I sold mine a while back, which is a great figure. It's just that I guess the character itself didn't, attach to the fans, unless you're a huge Iron Man fan. I mean, but this is your chance. I'm happy for those who's been looking for him for a long time. Now the scalpers needs to unload him at least for cheap, because he's probably going to retail for $254, maybe $230, maybe $220. I don't know how much the original price when it first came out. One criticism I do have is that they got the color wrong back then. Why is it still brown? His suit. It's supposed to be a jumpsuit for, why is it still brown? I don't understand that. It looks like they repainted the head, which is good. You can see more details now on the head. It looks like a straight up reissue. And I don't have any problems with that. I'm all for collectors who missed out on something, who just started collecting maybe a year or two ago. Now, just don't expect same quality as Hot Toys now. Right now it's the same old. It looks like it's everything the same. Hopefully they fix those pleather. I didn't hear any pleather issues on this one, but I hope they improved on that. The head sculpt looks, better. The paint application looks better. If it's something like Two-Face, I think Two-Face is a complete. I think the Two-Face, the one that they just released last year, I don't know if that's a repaint or a complete cast of the head sculpt, but that's better. That's better detail on the head sculpt, which I can see here as well. But yeah, I'm happy for those who missed out on him. I might get him depending on if they re-release Mark 5. I think they would. it's just a matter of time. I think they're going to announce a re-release of Mark 5 and Mark 6, to be quite honest with you. But I think you should get this. Anyone should. And then worry about it later if it doesn't fit your collection. So let me know in the comments down below which one of these guys are you going to pick up and why. I'm really interested to know. Thank you for watching, guys. Please subscribe to my channel, and I would see you guys in the next preview.